Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Terry Tucker. I was formerly Donald Strickland. And I am annoyed, pissed off, and disgusted. Why? Because a group of people are going around doing things to folks, hardworking folks like me, and all of these people are taking our works for their own and they're using them in a manner to make innumerable amounts of money. One of the people I'd like to talk about today is Tyler Perry. Another person is Oprah Winfrey. And the reason why I want to talk about them is because in all of the years that I have known or heard about them, I thought they were uprighteous people that cared for their own and others. And I believe that they had good hearts, pure hearts, because of what I watched on television, because of what I've seen in the media. But when I had my own circumstances with them, I quickly began to learn who they really are. A lot of you may say that what I'm saying could be far-fetched and I'm just ranting because I'm upset. No, I'm upset because when I discovered they have been doing the same thing to an innumerable amount of people, and I mean innumerable. We don't know. We only know what's on the court records and in the court doctrines. We don't know what's been done underhandedly behind closed doors and things that haven't even come out yet. But I do know that they use the legal system, which is very corrupt. We all know this. They use lawyers to hurt other lawyers, scare lawyers. They use all kinds of tactics that really can't be picked up by normal observation. And what I mean by that is this. If I have filed a case against one of these individuals and it goes to court, district court, what happens is you hire an attorney and your attorney works on your case. They're gung-ho about it. Else they wouldn't have took it in the first place. They look at all your evidence. They say, man, this is good. I'm all in. Someone with 30 years of legal experience is not just going to jump on what sounds good. It has to present itself the way it would be lucrative for them to take the case. Nobody takes a case with the assumption that they're going to lose. At least not that I knew of in the beginnings. I'm having my morning Java. So, what I have discovered is this. These attorneys take these cases, and the worst thing about it and the saddest thing about it is when they take these cases, they find out quickly that they're not dealing with the average person, the average Joe. Now, Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey, they're not the average anything. They do everything above board and they are where they are. And I don't doubt that they have done something to get there. But the rest of what they've done is below the belt. And the reason why I say that is because if I have proof and evidence of something and I present it to the courts, and it never makes it into the record. And then all of a sudden, your attorney turns on you from the gung-ho, excited about taking your case, to doom and gloom and talking circles around you as if, you brought them into a black hole that there was no chance of them winning because of the threats. I have an email by my old attorney that says that he was threatened from the beginning of the case. He didn't present any of the evidence in the case, and they were in default 4 times in the New York District Court, and no document was filed by my attorney to cash in on my default. One was in the form of a waiver that they signed, the attorney signed, saying if they didn't answer within 60 days, they agreed to pay me everything on the case. That didn't happen. Then they received somehow mysteriously, which is against the law and proceedings and everything. It's against all violations, especially without asking or providing a reason for your lateness. See, if you default in court and you have a traffic ticket, there's no way you can show up and another court proceeding and not get a bench warrant for not showing up in your last traffic ticket. So you have to explain where you were, which is called excusable neglect. They weren't provided any information on the record to explain their excusable neglect. Now, this may seem like, okay, well, what's your point? I mean, who cares? So what? They didn't explain excusable neglect. Well, I would say there is no point if it wasn't done 4 times on the record. See, what I didn't realize is before my case got filed in the New York district, it was filed in the Pennsylvania district by my attorney. And without anything on the record, without any reason or rhyme, there's no emails, communication, no motions, no pleadings. My case was moved from Pennsylvania to New York. But that's not the oddest thing about it. When it was moved, the case was defaulted. It should have been dismissed without prejudice or with prejudice until they came up with why they didn't answer the charges in the complaint. But yet it got moved with no reason, no rhyme. No one filed something saying it's the improper jurisdiction. No one filed something saying that, it should be dismissed. No one filed anything. There was nothing on the record, period, except proof that they were served by email. Now, the funniest thing is this. On November 27th in 2012, when my document or my complaint got filed in the Pennsylvania court, they were served by email the same day, November 27th. That's what it says on the record. So when you look at that, you're like, well, wait a minute. Isn't it that when you serve somebody, you're supposed to be looking for where they at? You're supposed to send something. So you had to have talked to these individuals, sidebar, and never put record on the record of your conversation to serve them by email. So now that they were electronically served, and this happened, I don't know how this happens, because you have to locate an address and information and all that other good stuff. The next thing that happens is it sits over in, look at her being nosy and noisy. So the next thing that happens is the case gets 30 more days for them to answer after transfer. So January of 2013, they magically sign a waiver, but that's the date it's due. See, from November 27th to January 27th is how much time they were provided according to that service of process to have 60 days when you serve directly to the agent or to a party that they agreed as an attorney, a representative, according to Rule 4. So here, January 15, 16, they're given to March now some time to answer by signing a waiver in January. So, and I didn't learn all of this until like about this year, early this year. So then the next thing that happens on the record is that they get 30 days to answer after the date of transfer. So if the date of transfer was March 12th, they had until March 11th to put an answer on the record. Now this goes outside. Now look, it was done in April. Any complaint that's filed in court, in district court, you get 21 days unless you sign a notice of waiver saying, I waive my rights and will pay the person everything that I owe them if I don't answer within the 60 days. So that this way they have more than 21 days. See, 21 days would have been December 19th. So now we in April. April, they didn't respond to nothing. They put a memorandum for record on the record saying we want to dismiss it in our favor. You in default 3 times. And you want to dismiss? We ain't even put nothing on the record. Ain't no evidence on the record. Didn't nobody go through discovery. You just think that you can just do this like that. That's just the way it works. Here, my attorney didn't tell me that he didn't have permission to practice law in the state of New York. So now he starts talking about how he's talking to attorneys to see if they'll go in with him. I didn't know the law. I hired him to know the law. So I'm saying to myself, I don't know what's going on. Why would he need an attorney to help him? But what I didn't know is pro hoc vici. You have to be sort of sponsored by a New York attorney. And then you have to apply to the Bar Association. Well, nobody wanted to get in bed with Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey and Tom Ferber, which was the attorney who went all over the news and told everybody they won. They won because there was no similarities. That a judge said there were no similarities from my book to that film, which was the biggest lie that was ever told. Because if you read what the judge wrote, he never said that. He said he finds passing similarities. So when you pass a driver's license test, they don't say you pass, but you don't get a driver's license. They don't say, if you in school, you pass the SATs, but you don't get a winning mark. Or you passed and you don't go to the next level. See, and all you need to do in order to go to trial is to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt there are passing similarities. And that's what the judge said. Yet, when my lawyer went to court for a hearing, he was under the auspices, or he was put under the notion that they were going in for pre-hearing conference. He didn't prepare for an argument for a motion to dismiss. With a motion to dismiss under Rule 12C, something that they put in their memorandum that they wanted, you have to allow the other party that you're filing against to put all the evidence on the record, which would have been my mailing, proof that he received it from me, proof that they signed it with the tracking numbers, the documents that from the book that shows what page is the same as this and that and third. Like, you are supposed to be able to put, and I had 200-300 pages of evidence that should have been put on the record and allowed on the record. Yet his application for pro hoc vici wasn't approved until the morning of the hearing that he thought was a hearing for pre-trial conference, not summary judgment. So he was taken, and it says it in his transcripts, that this couldn't possibly be a hearing for summary judgment because there's nothing they haven't done any discovery yet. He said this on the transcript. We haven't done discovery. You are violating my due process. There has to be discovery allowed. There has to be a lot of things allowed before you can grant somebody a dismissal. Well, that's not even a half of it. And this is just some of the things. My attorney was so afraid. He started telling me, please, this is a dark tunnel we're in and things can happen to people. And I started saying, what's going on? And then he wrote me in an email where, when I asked him, why didn't you put the evidence in the record? Why didn't you file a motion for reconsideration? Why you didn't file an appeal? This is a dark tunnel he kept talking about. He kept talking about bribes and people, in dark places doing dark things. And I'm saying, what are we talking about here? Oh, because they're all powerful somehow, and these people have some kind of all powerful skills because they have all powerful money. Tyler Perry, out of his own mouth, said he realizes it ain't nothing in this country about black and white. It's about green. It's about money. So because we little people don't have money, they can take advantage of us much easier than they can a person with the means and the will to fight against the big wigs and the people that they actually settled with, who had attorneys, that had big companies, that could have gotten exposure. But I can't get exposure. William James can't get exposure. Donna West can't get exposure. Why can't we get exposure? Because we are the little people. Nobody cares about us. And you got to remember, people like Oprah got stock in all kinds of media outlets. So people don't even want to touch this story. And every time somebody starts interviewing, they want to back off, because after they start questioning them, calling their phones, something happens. Reporters start calling and saying, oh, I don't know if we should do this. I'm feeling uncomfortable. You start giving them information. I'm Beyonce's fourth cousin. I should have more exposure than anybody in the world. And I'm estranged from her because I don't run and seek after her because she's somebody. But I'm just letting you know, we come from a long line of talent. I'm not just some untalented person that's sitting around trying to collect dollars off of Mr. Tyler Perry or Oprah Winfrey. I've been in the music industry long before Tyler Perry ever thought about it. In 1986, I was with one of the hottest rappers at the time, MC Shan. We got married. We had 2 children. I've been around the recording industry for over 30 years. I know exactly how it runs. I know who runs it and what it do, when it do, how it do. And I'm just letting you know that I got 8 times platinum under my belt. You know, I co-wrote Informer by Darren O'Brien, aka Snow, who lived in my house when we actually produced his album 12 Inches of Snow. So I was behind taking him to Manhattan and going on the trains when things was looking bad, when there was lawsuits with Cold Chillin' and we couldn't get no money from our industry that we already made money from, and had to try to find somebody to sign him. I'm the one that got David Ng and Steve Salem interested and brought him into my basement, and he signed a management and a record deal. I signed a record deal with Motor Jam Records, East West Records. Okay, so I've been around this industry. I had ballroom doors tore down in the Black Spring Break of 1996 when I was opening for Luke Skywalker. So all I'm saying is, I know what it's like to be in the industry and I know how it runs. You can't pretend that you can do people wrong and people ain't going to be angry about it. I ain't going to keep coming after nobody if you ain't got nothing that don't belong to me. I'm not going to keep coming for you for nothing because I think it's an easy come up. Because I'm already up. I am already up. I don't need a come up. I'm not living in the ghetto. I'm not hungry. Okay? I'm not sitting here trying to pull on nobody's strings because I think it's a good idea. I feel like I know my craft. I know my art. I've been in this industry a long time. For 12 years, I've been doing the film industry for the government. I got letters from the chief of staff, from the Pentagon. I got letters from all kinds of organizations throughout the military talking about how good my audio, visual, film and video work is. So you can't say that what I'm saying is wrong. I'm 100% disabled veteran because of what I did for my country. Okay? And it was in the area of film and video. I did autopsies and forensics photography. I did the gory stuff. I did the good stuff. Whenever the presidents came, I'm the one that was standing front row and center with my clearance, taking those videos and photos and miking them up. The Secretary of State, the chiefs of staff, anybody, if there was an ambassador. I was in Korea for 8 years. And when I gave Tyler Perry my book, I really believed he was going to take it and make it in a movie. I was going to try to get him a quick trailer. But of course, my work in the military came first. So I didn't have downtime even on my weekends. I had to give up my weekends, my holidays, and my during the week and late nights to do what I did for my country. And this is the thanks that I get repaid. Not even judges and lawyers and people can respect me. This is how you do your veterans? Really? I'm just going to tell you right now. We filed a RICO case in Northern District of Georgia. And I ain't going to tell you all the merits of the case, but you can go look it up yourself. Matter of fact, the case number is 17-CV-01181-TWT. They did the same thing that they did to William James in his case in Chicago. They defaulted. His attorneys ran from the case. He had one quit on the spot. Another one get emails from them and quit. And they left him in default, knowing that they could have gotten their money from Tyler Perry and didn't even try, the same way my lawyer did. Because they knew they had enough power in the courts to not have to do nothing. So this is where we sitting. We can't get no public communication on your news stations, your CBSs and your ABCs and all your Foxes. Nobody will take the story because everybody, I guess they scared of Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey, and they think that something going to happen to them or they're going to lose their jobs or somebody going to come get them in the middle of the night. I don't know. We talking about billionaires. You know, anything can happen. But I'm a child of God and the Most High, and God has given us incredible law. If we ain't had no legal help, we ain't had no lawyers down for us. If you look at that case, we whooping them upside their head with law. And they tried to say there's no law in what we write, that we are unintelligent is what we were called. But when you read the intelligent law that's in that case, it's undeniable. And we've been denied, yet we winning. How we losing? How we losing when we winning? And we still in there. We still in there. But what the problem is when you look at the case, you'll see what the problem is. Check it out. And we're also in appeals court for interlocutory, meaning it's not a final decision on our case. Our case ain't been closed. It's just that the orders that were on the record was so bad, and the way they was ruling for them was so bad. We needed to do something, but we brought the case under the wrong set of orders. I just got something in on my news desk. Let's see. It says we need to talk about it on some real stuff. Let's see. This is wonderful. Okay, so one of the other things that we do need to discuss today, which ain't nothing to play with, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I feel like it's really important to put out here is because we need help getting this story out. We need to blow this up, because here's the thing. We brought the case under the Sherman Act, and I'm gonna tell you what the Sherman Act is. It's a federal law that says you cannot create a monopoly, and we believe that in our case, we told how they created a monopoly by having exclusive relationships, which was stopped since Paramount Pictures, RKO Pictures, and all of that other stuff. When movie houses back in the days used to have their own theaters and their own production houses, and no independents could get their movies in any of the theaters because it was a monopoly. Well, that Sherman Act busted that down. Yet people are creating their own television stations, going into exclusive deals with people, with each other. Okay, hint, hint. Go read my case. And they are, blocking out everybody else, all the little people. So now all of a sudden people got new deals with new companies, and they broke up the monopoly. But you can't not give us credit for it being us that brought that to light. See, that's the problem. They trying to make it look like they're doing it on their own. Get it? Own. Yet Viacom has deals with independents and people that recently had monopolies with one another. Go check it out. So we are responsible for breaking that up. And you best to know it. Go read the case. I'm telling you, it's going to be juicy. It's juicy tidbits. It's so good. It's like reading a movie that you don't want to put down. This would make an excellent film. But anyway, like I said, and then all of a sudden, after we dropped that case, who came along? Monique. Now, she made nice with them. They probably gave her a couple of dollars because they knew we was reaching out to Monique. We was trying to get Monique on our team. Why we wanted Monique on our team? Because it proves that they blacklist people. See, after we come out with a film, not a film, but book and screenwrite like me and William James did, who is also a plaintiff on the case with this new one that we got here in Georgia. Right? Once we try to go to the industry and be like, yo, we got these great films, we got these great pieces of work that we want to get put out there, they're going to look and see our names up in lights with the wrong people, who is Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey, and nobody's going to touch us. It blacklists us automatically. They're the most powerful people in Hollywood right now. Black or white. They are the most powerful people in Hollywood right now. So nobody's going to touch our work. So in order for us to vindicate ourselves, we got to go public. We got to bring this out. We got to talk about it. And when Monique got gutsy enough to get on a video with her husband and talk about it, which was excellent, she talked about how she got blacklisted by the same two individuals. Come on. Man, if y'all go read my case, if y'all go see my case, y'all see all of the atrocities that they committed. Everything I'm saying that I'm telling you how many people they've done this to ain't a lie. You need to go on my case. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to let y'all read about it. This way they won't say that I'm telling all the case and I'm hurting my own case by speaking about it. But it needs to be told. We need coverage on it. We need the news, the media. We need everybody out there bringing their cameras to the courthouse, asking why this going this way. We need investigative reporters. We need somebody interested in this case, because I'm telling you, the stuff that's on there that we found on them, nobody would love them anymore. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm saying you should love them as much as you want to. But read the case and you determine if you want to love them anymore. Also, top of the morning to everybody. I love you guys. Again, my name is Terry Tucker, a.k.a. T-Lo Redness, Strickland Donald. You can look up my old cases. What I'm telling you is no lie. The information I'm giving you is the truth. And I'm not going to try to get sued by Beyonce by saying that's my fourth cousin, because she is. My grandmother, Anna Miller. Oscar Miller was her daddy. Oscar Miller's sister was Girlie Mae Miller. She married Taylor Knowles. They had a bunch of children, and Matthew Knowles is one of them. My great aunt is Beyonce's grandmother. Point, period, blank. They from Gaston, Alabama. I ain't got to lie. Check my blood. You can see by the talent that we exude talent. So anyway, I'm going to keep ranting, and I'm going to keep raving, and I'm going to keep saying what I want to say until somebody hears my story. Also, I wanted to tell you one more thing.
Be careful who you give your book.
Be careful who you give. Like my husband said, Mr. Tucker said, he said, be careful who you give your book to, your film to, because even if you have an agreement, you don't have an agreement. I'm going to tell you, them
even
things
if
get...
it's a good idea.
They'll take it. So just, you got to find other avenues. You got to go shoot it off your Apple iPod or whatever you got to do. Make sure you make it first, because I'm going to tell you, copyright infringement, it's not real. I found out that copyright, that's what's the most important. I'm glad my husband told me about that, because copyright infringement is no such thing. Copyright infringement is taking a book, putting it on a copier, and printing exactly word for word. It's called plagiarism, and it's also called counterfeit, because it's like taking $100 bill and making a copy of it and then changing the serial numbers on it. And now you have counterfeited that bill because there's a change. Well, our books and our screenplays for William James and I are changed. Now, Donna West, she ready to get up on this too, because me and her talk all the time. I talked to her yesterday. She's having a hard time with the reporter that's in Texas that's about to do the story, because this guy's scared to death. He started doing his little investigative reporting, and he's like, I don't want to get sued. Why? Because these people are trying to threaten you because they got billions of dollars and they know that they have the right to threaten you. But this is a public interest story. OWN is a public company. Tyler Perry is a private company, but Tyler Perry's not his name. His name is Emmett Perry Jr. Tyler Perry is a corporation itself, the name itself. So all I'm telling you is, I don't care. Come for me so I can finish coming for you, because I'm tired of this. I don't care how y'all feel. Y'all can be fans all y'all want to. But when you find out, go find all them people that's been hurt. All them people that's crying out. All them people that know they did the work that they did and they not getting no acknowledgement. I'd have took $1 and my name up in lights just so I can get other work. I'd have took anything if they'd have came correct, like, yo, we don't want to pay you for this because we don't know what it's going to generate, but we want to use your book for this film. And I would have took that credit, and I'd have turned that credit into $1 billion of my own, because I would have showed people what my work is worth. See, I got credit in the music industry, but not in the film industry, in the commercial side. In the military side, it don't count. Why it don't count? Because you can't use those works as your own. It belongs to the U.S. Army. So this was going to be my first works in the film industry that I could have used to get my stuff out there. And I'm telling you, it's a lot more where that comes from. I know I'm a talented person. I can write music. I can write films. I could do all of that. I'm all powerful through my Father God, who is in heaven, who gives me the knowledge to be creative. So I'm just letting y'all know that this stinks. And I'm calling them out. I'm calling Oprah and Tyler out. Y'all done blocked up the media. Nobody would touch our story. And it's a real story. And nobody's giving us no light. So I'm going to get my light on social media until somebody hears me. I'm going to keep knocking down. I done sent this to every news media in the whole country, and won't nobody touch it. Even TMZ was like, we got it on our desk, but, we going to wait. That's scary. That's scary because we talking about if you took every Hollywood star in the black industry, we talking film and music, you still couldn't touch the money that Oprah and Tyler has. Now, that's power. I mean, that's too much power. Go look up them numbers. But I ain't scared. I got Jesus.